another edition of the 3-Point Conversion Presents Making the Cut. I'm your host, Mr. Controversy, here live at Scrub Oaks Restaurant in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You know I'm blessed with special talent. I got my special guest, Big TJ.
I got you.
I got my man, Will, the Sports Guru.
Yeah.
I got my man, Big Google.
Jill.
My special guest, the Sportsologist.
What's up?
And my man over there, Big Juggernaut.
Already.
And today's topic, we're talking about the best division in the NFL, the NFC West. We got the Super Bowl champs, Seattle. We got San Francisco, their nemesis. We got Arizona Cardinals, who's looking like they want to take over the division. Then we can't forget about the St. Louis Rams. Big TJ.
When I look at that division, man, it really is a toss-up because everybody's strong. You know, you can't take anything away from Seattle because they absolutely had one of the best showings in the Super Bowl that we have seen in a very long time, both defensively and offensively. But they got a contract issue that they're dealing with right now. There's a focal part of that offense. If Marshawn Lynch is not there and ready to play, that team is completely different. So it's hard for me to weigh in on them right now because we don't know what they're going to bring. What I can say about San Francisco's got a defense, but they're going to be without NaVorro Bowman for a couple weeks. And say what you will about Patrick Willis, NaVorro Bowman is that guy. So I'm looking at the unknowns. I'm looking at Arizona and I'm looking at the Rams and saying, okay, Carson Palmer, Sam Bradford, which one am I going to take? I'm not really too keen on either one of them, but I like Larry Fitzgerald, so I'm going to show some love to Patrick Peterson in Arizona. I'm going to go that way. Want to make it real quick for y'all.
I got to go with San Francisco, man. Historically, if you look back, Seattle, the Super Bowl champs after they win the Super Bowl, typically don't come back and sometimes even make the playoffs, even going back to the Super Bowl and winning it all. You just made San Francisco more prolific by adding Stevie Johnson to that wide receiving core. You already got Michael Crabtree, Anquan Bolden, Vernon Davis. So Kaepernick getting his contract extension and the money, I think this is going to be a breakout year for him for all the tools that he has too as well. Defensively, we all know what they bring to the table. Patrick Willis will still be able to hold down the linebacking core with NaVorro Bowman being hurt. Even with him coming back, that's going to make it even better. Arizona, I think with Patrick Peterson, if the Honey Badger come back full strength, they got one of the best secondaries in the league, along with their defensive line. Defensively, over the past 2-3 years, they've been beastly. Okay, when Carson Palmer being back, coming there last year, making Larry Fitzgerald back to Larry Fitzgerald as we know, he's gonna be great along with the rushing attack too as well. And Sam Bradford, if he stays healthy, we never know. Will he ever be the Sam Bradford that they drafted out of Oklahoma? And watch out for Tavon Austin. If Tavon Austin can grasp, he fully got a fully grasp of the offense. Last year he said he looked Spanish to him and looked foreign. He didn't know what to do. So if they can come back full circle, they can bring some noise too as well.
Yeah, I kind of like y'all comments, you know, TJ and Sports Guru. I will give the upper hand to San Francisco from the perspective of veteran leadership, from the perspective of solid in every aspect of the game, every position, offensively and defensively. And plus, at the same time, you got a good player-coach relationship with the fact that the players do respect Harbaugh. They do, you know, like his system and where he's going and everything. Now, of course, we will try to give, say, Seattle, and we got to think about them. But I really think Arizona is going to be that sleeper that could possibly win, get a wild card. I mean, you know, because barring no injuries, they really, you know, hungry. I got to give it up to, like Guru said, the best potential secondary in the backfield as far as Patrick Peterson and you know, the Honey Badger. You know, shout out to my boys from LSU, that great college. So you know, they really gonna do their thing offensively. If Carson Palmer, I don't know if he, you know, surfed enough this year, if he worked out this summer, what he gonna be, you know, that's gonna play a difference whether or not Fitzgerald, you know, can get his catches and that offense get to going. Carson Palmer, then that offense is based on what Carson Palmer gonna do. So I get that upper hand. As far as St. Louis is concerned, you know, God bless you.
I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet, and what I'm looking at storylines. I mean, we had out of the 49ers camp where we thought that Vernon Davis was going to hold out. He showed up to camp. That's huge for them. But when we got up to Seattle, we're looking at Marshawn Lynch and he's holding out. Yes, I understand that he has to get his paper, and I'm never going to knock a guy on getting his paper. But at the end of the day, we have to look at how it's going to affect the team. And Marshawn Lynch, Skittles and all, affected the team in every aspect. Being able to hand the ball off to him, he was one of the most unstoppable running backs in the league at that time. So not having him there is going to absolutely affect that team. And then you also have to look at the future too. If Marshawn Lynch is going to hold out now, guess who else is still coming up on a contract year now? Russell Wilson. Okay, what is he thinking now? So, I mean, there's a lot of different things, and that's why it makes it very, very difficult to repeat when it comes to a Super Bowl champion because of that. So, with all of the contract issues and all of the storylines that is going on, I'm going to give it to the 49ers as of right now.
I'll chime in with everybody said. I'll pick the 49ers. However, everybody understands that all of those teams have great defenses. All of those teams have stout defenses. They've built their teams in different ways. I'll point out a couple of things on offense for every team. Everybody knows the Marshawn Lynch situation. However, you do have Christian Michael and Robert Turbin waiting in the wings. If their combined production can reach or be somewhat equivalent to what Marshawn Lynch has done, it will keep them in the running. Now, San Francisco, we understand Kendall Hunter just went down. Frank Gore's on his last leg. However, you still have Carlos Hyde, and you also have Marquise Lattimore. Now, if they're able to step in and provide a wonderful transition for Frank Gore, that'll be wonderful and great. Everybody understands that St. Louis has a team. They upgraded their offensive line and Greg Robinson. Hopefully, he's come around to picking up the schemes where he can be at least somewhat effective in his rookie year, as well as being able to protect Sam Bradford. Now, they added another monster to the three-headed monster in the running back situation. And for Arizona, Andre Ellington is the focal point there. Enough said.
Hey, I like what you all said. I really do, but I think y'all are not giving St. Louis any credit. Jeff Fisher has a team he wants. That's the type of team he likes to play with. Great defense. I think Michael Sam was probably the best late round pick after the 4th round, just because, remember, he was the defensive player of the SEC. So he's not bad. He's good. I mean, we're talking about the best conference in college football with the best defense in college football. So he was the best player, voted the best player in the best defensive player in the SEC. So I think he's going to use him well. I like what they did with Donald, getting him Aaron Donald. That was a great pickup at the D tackle position. And like I said, man, if you look at Steve Fisher, most of his teams, they never was great offensively. Probably wasn't even good. But they controlled the ball, running the ball, and great defense. So I think y'all are not giving them respect. But with Arizona, look what they did last year. I think with the coach they have, hey, I think Arians got that team pumped up. They're ready to go. I like the pickup with my man Cromartie. I think he was a good pickup. So I think they're going to make some noise. But of course, like you said, San Francisco. San Francisco, remember, with Kaepernick, they went to the NFC Championship last year, and they went to the Super Bowl before then. Both times he played significant time. So, you know they're going to be somewhere in the end. But Seattle, man, I got to give it to Seattle. The thing is, Seattle has that we feel disrespected attitude. Usually, if you win a Super Bowl, like you mentioned, Will the Sports Guru, usually if you have that Super Bowl ring, it's like, all right, now everybody's coming at you. You're the hunted now. But Seattle always felt like they're the hunted. So you have Russell Wilson, you have the running back, and I think that contract's going to come back. He's going to get that contract, so he's coming back before the season. They can't risk him not playing because he was half of their offense or half of their wins. You know what I'm saying? It's the defense, then it's Marshawn Lynch. So, and then you got my man coming back, Percy Harvin. I like Percy Harvin. Kickoff return, he's explosive. I got Seattle win that division.
Percy Harvin, we cannot be guaranteed on that and everything. We don't know. I mean, he might fall on his head in practice or something and have a few, flashbacks on, the little whatever this and that. I know that one game against the Saints in the first half when we hit him, he pretty much went to the sideline and be like, Coach, it's okay if I take my shoulder equipment off. So we can't too much worry about that. I think he got a few concussions that might play a part on that. As far as your St. Louis thing and this Michael Sam thing, what in the world is controversial? Is he trying to be controversial? What in the world? Michael Sam, he's co-defensive player of the year, and now once again, this dude ain't about to be coming off the edge like he was in college at defensive end, plain and simple. So how they utilize him away from, potential, packing stands out, has yet to been proved and everything. So St. Louis, Jeff Fisher, I know, he a good coach and everything, but I don't think all the pieces are there. And with your comment about St. Louis being that thing.
when you talk about Jeff Fisher having his team, I hope that means he got a solid backup, because I hadn't seen Sam Bradford finish the season since he's been in the game at all. And when you talk about Michael Sam, no disrespect for him, we're purely talking about a football player. He was okay in college. He had a blow-up year at the right time, but he was a 7th-round draft pick. Some of that had to do with the stuff that he announced beforehand. But still, even if he hadn't said that stuff, he was still going to be a fourth round at best, just because he's a tweener. So if you can't teach that guy to be a stand-up linebacker, it's a wrap. Now I want to go ahead and say something right now that's probably going to make y'all jump down my throat, but it's all good. I don't like Colin Kaepernick. That's why I can't pick San Francisco to win the division, because I don't like Cap. There were times last season where the San Francisco 49ers had the worst passing game in the NFL, but you want to talk about this guy being a top 5 guy, okay, because he can run, because he's got tattoos. I got tattoos too. You gonna give me some props? What's the deal? So I mean, I'm looking at, San Francisco and saying, you know what, I don't like where it's at, but they brought in Stevie Johnson, so now he's got all the weapons in the world. If he is not a top 5 yardage-wise quarterback, I want everybody to apologize to me, because the man, as far as I'm concerned, is overrated. Holla.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. St. Louis drafted Michael Sam to sell some freaking jerseys, because nobody was selling any jerseys up there at all. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the fact of his combine. He did not perform whatsoever, and I'm not gonna pick him as far as being any kind of a dynamic kind of push for that defense at all. I'm not gonna mention him at all. I'm not gonna give that to you guys. When it comes to Colin Kaepernick and the San Francisco 49ers, we have to learn how to trust Colin Kaepernick as a quarterback, of course. But the way that they have set him up as far as his receivers, as far as Vernon Davis being there, as far as his running game, I mean, he cannot fail in that situation. Point blank, period.
All right, we'll address the 2 points as they came. The Michael Sam comment, it's one thing. All I want to know is, who is he starting over? Is he starting over Brockers? Is he starting over Chris Long? Is he starting over Robert Quinn? Is he starting over Aaron Donald? If you can answer that question, I'd love to hear. All right, what I want to address is the Colin Kaepernick situation, and it's unique. The only other team that has to deal with that situation, ironically, is Seattle. When you don't have to pay your quarterback and you put all your money in your defense, then you don't put any pressure on that quarterback. The only thing that quarterback has to do is throw over the top, because your running game is first and foremost. So with that, it's not about trusting Colin Kaepernick. He does what he's there to do. Throw over the top of the defense with the weapons that are provided for him. Same thing with Russell Wilson. Now, with Percy Harvin, we don't know. Doug Baldwin, yeah, we don't know. So Sidney Rice just retired. We don't know. So that's the whole thing. When it comes to paying Russell Wilson, you just paid Colin Kaepernick. That's the start of the demise for the 49ers. Next year, when they have to address it, it'll be the start of the demise for the Seattle Seahawks.
If you go back and look at it, all these guys from Seattle has got big contracts in the offseason. The Legion of Boom is not going to be the Legion of Boom of old. Okay, Earl Thomas got paid. Richard Sherman got paid. These guys, they good. They pockets are fat. They good. They eating good, right? They lost Brandon Browner. Okay, Russell Wilson don't have nobody to throw to. He looking for his big contract. He making league minimum. Me and him making the same amount of money. I'm just kidding. I wish I was making that amount of money, but the guy is gonna ball. He's gonna take the matter. He's gonna take the matter into his own hands and try to be a playmaker and do what he can do. But he's not gonna be able to do so. Turban, and I don't even know what the other guy is. They're not Marshawn Lynch. They're not Beast Mode. So that's not gonna happen. Seattle is going to have problems this year, and y'all going to see it. But everybody talk about St. Louis. Okay, Michael Sam, going back to what Big Juggernaut said, he's not going to see the light of the day. He's not going to even see the field based on their defensive line, Robert Quinn and them guys. And the offensive line, Jake Locker, they also drafted Greg Robinson, who is a rushing blocker, a rush leading blocker, to go with a two-head monster now, and Zach Stacy and Trey Mason. So people gonna sleep on that running game, because that running game is gonna be upright, and they're gonna move the ball down the field. So if you look back at Jeff Fisher days in Tennessee, he ran the ball big, and then he threw when he had to. So that's what he's looking to do now. And if that offensive line can keep Sam Bradford healthy and the running game can come to fruition, then St. Louis gives everybody in that division hell. They beat Seattle twice last year, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
So, with that being said, I still like the 49ers in the division. We're going back to what Big TJ said, him not liking Colin Kaepernick and all. I don't see how that is. Duke Blue has one of the best strong arms in the league and deserves all the money that he got. And he's a two-headed threat, and you're going to see what he's going to do. That's all I got to say about that.
I called his mom.
And first of all, I want to apologize. I guess Michigan is on my mind for calling him Steve Fisher. Jeff, I'm sorry, Jeff Fisher. But to answer Big Juggernaut with Michael Sam, I didn't say he was going to start. That's why I said it was a good pickup. So in passing downs, they'll put him in. And with Quinn, with Donald, with Long, and then put him in as a linebacker, and he'll rush. I mean, that's what Fisher does. I mean, you think about the 46 defense, man. That's what he adopted, and that's what they're going to do, is rush the quarterback. Now, let's go back to Big TJ talking about Kaepernick. I can't get mad at you for not liking Kaepernick. I understand that. But again, this man went to the Super Bowl his first year playing and starting. Then he took the team to the NFC Championship, where it took a not miraculous, but a spectacular play by Richard Sherman from causing him to go to the Super Bowl again. So you name one quarterback within the last 5 years who has went to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship or the AFC Championship besides Brady, if he's done it. You can't name one. So again, my whole point is Kaepernick with running the ball, with throwing the ball, because he comes up big in the playoffs, not the season. Playoffs, I understand the season. Sometimes he screws up. It's like his head is not in the game. But in the playoffs, what does he do? Ball out, and he always go on the road and win games. So we're gonna wrap it up. So once again, we're at Scrub Oaks Restaurant in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm your host, Mr. Controversy, sitting here live with my man, Big TJ. I got my man, with the Sports Guru. Got my man, Big Guru.
Jill.
The sportsologist, Big Juggernaut.
Already, baby.
Hey, I want to send a special shout out to Miss Dory Longino on Google+. I thank you for all your kind words, all your wisdom. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. And everybody else, please subscribe to the show. We'll see you next time. We out.